my God.
Oh, you're gone. Hello, George.
Look what's coming tomorrow. These are actually the 3 best things. Tomorrow, the pajamas, the blanket, and the book.
Sweet.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Sunday. All right, I gotta go over here. Let's see. What do we got? I didn't see him. Oh, yeah. People in there. I can't really see.
Oh, and 5 more. So the entire thing. All the toys and stuff, too.
Sweet.
And the Steve machine. You can wear the pajamas tomorrow. We'll wash them first. If they're like shorts and t-shirt. And there's pants. I'm so excited. The book. You're gonna read the book. It's gonna be like rolling in riches before he turns 18. We're gonna put it aside for him so he can't touch it until he turns a certain age.
Welcome to my world.
Oh, is it recording?
I told you I was like.
Oh, okay. Oops.
Hi, I'm Uncle Birch. We're just getting some people in here, here on my channel, so you probably know who I am. I teach witchcraft. That's my thing. I got this year and day course starting November 1st. At that point, I will have 4 year and a day courses going at the same time. So do this kind of thing to lead up to that course. We're promoting the course, of course, but to make me ready, to test my teaching muscles, to answer random questions from witches all over the place. Seems to help me, seems to help the community. Of all the time I've spent making videos on my channel, and eventually it's like I run out of things. Like, I don't know what people want to know. I've done all these spells, I've done all these rituals, I've taught all this stuff on this channel. At certain points, like, you just don't know. You've got to like get out there in the world and see what they want to know. So this is one of those things I do. See what people want to know out there. See what kind of bullshit people are feeding each other out there. And it's a community service to spread things that are not bullshit out on the internet. Questions? Oh, Jesus. Cancel. I don't see the damn question. There we go. Emerald City Mystic. Want to know how to turn magic into a self-development business? Well, first you need the business, and then you do the magic on the business. I think that everybody in this day and age, no matter what your day job is, you should have some sort of sideline that you're doing on the internet that could take off. You could end up, leaving your day job for that. But first, you have a business, and then you do magic on the business. For like an internet business, I think it's. I always think it's a good thing to have like a logo. This is Sigil. Magic in your logo. The symbol associated with your business on the internet is going to be your magical prop, your focal point, the thing you're going to focus magic on. There's lots of ways to do that, but it's like, but when you're internet business, I think the symbols associated with your business should be magically inclined in some way. Have a sigil within them, have some magical symbology within them, even numerology. I think all the way back, like Procter and Gamble knew that back in the day. Their the symbol for Procter & Gamble became associated, or became known with associated occult symbols, and you know, Christians kind of came down on them for that. But Procter & Gamble had done really well up till then, using occult symbology in their logo. It's exactly what I want to do, like selling spell kits, tarot readings, counseling. Emerald City Mystic, I believe you're in my class, but I don't think we're up to that yet in your class. But there is an entire portion of the class, I think it's 3 classes in a row, that are specifically about that. You know, how to set up shop. This year in a day course that I'm teaching now is very different than the year in a day courses that I'm offering for download. It's about 7, 8 years old, those courses. In this year in a day course, one of the segments is shopcraft. How to set up shop, how to set up an occult business, a psychic business, readings, whatever you got. Using my, vast years of experience of doing a lot of shit wrong, making all the mistakes along the way, there's a lot that I've learned. I've learned, through the hard way, and try and pass those ideas on to my students, even to the extent of brewing techniques are taught in that portion of this year in a day course that I'm teaching now. So I think Emerald City Mystic, you're in the August 1st course. I think it's coming up for you. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for your classes. That portion's coming up. I just finished that for the March year in the day course, and you're taking that same course, so you're a couple months behind the March people. So that's coming up. So stay tuned. There'll be a lot of stuff in there. I've learned a lot being in the occult business for decades, and most of what I learned because I was bad at things. I was not a capitalist. I was more of an anarchist. Didn't even try to make money for a long fucking time. So I learned. I made a great many mistakes, and that makes me a good teacher. Knowing those mistakes. Let's see. Oh, that's right. We're still trying to figure that thing out. Yeah, Gumroad did a thing. They did some sort of updates to their system, which screwed some people up. They're trying to figure all those things out. So Emerald City Mystics trying to figure that out. But we'll figure that out. Anything that you missed, we have a way to catch you when these kind of glitches happen. But we're running all the courses through gumroad.com/WitchSchool. That's WitchSkewl. And I've got a lot of other courses up there too. The November 1st course will not appear until November 1st. I'll put out an announcement here and everywhere else, but the course won't be available to get into until that time. You can secure a spot in the course ahead of time, or you can take your chances November 1st. If you want to secure a spot ahead of time, you just have to contact me at WitchSkewl@gmail.com. That's WitchSkewl@gmail.com. And after the video posts, I'll post those addresses on the video. Gumroad, when there's a problem with Gumroad, we've got to contact Gumroad and figure out what the hell they did. So they did some sort of updates that I've seen people talking about, and I think that's the problem you're having there. So hopefully you can get ready to contact them. You're going to let me know what happened with that. But Gumroad handles all that, allowing me not to handle other stuff. But then sometimes they screw stuff up, make me handle other stuff. But we will figure it out. We have a way to get people caught up when these glitches happen, which, ultimately they happen. So we're doing this thing called Ask Uncle Birch to get me ready for, another year in the day course. You can ask almost anything about any type of magic, witchcraft. If I miss your question, try and, copy your question so you can paste it several times because they appear in a very brief window. If I don't see it, then I'll miss it. I'll be on to other things. Call them what they're supposed to call that. Okay. They have like regular business hours, Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I think I've had that same problem. Try and call them on Friday. I think they're housed in San Francisco. Magic, witchcraft, even hoodoo, conjure. What you got? I got something to say. Is it possible to check in on someone energetically that is near you? Check in on someone energetically that is near you. How do you strengthen? Yes. I think the way to strengthen that is the time spent with that person. The more time you spend with a person, the more of that kind of bond you have. You have a physical, mental, emotional, and thereby a psychic bond too. And you know, there's a lot to be said about the people that you're around. You absorbing their energy, for good or for bad. I always say that the fifth person to hang out with 4 broke motherfuckers is the 5th broke motherfucker. So I was like kind of think about these things based on some of the teachings that I've learned through like volatile books like the 48 Laws of Power. Associate with the fortunate, associate with the happy, the wealthy if you can. Those are the energies you're going to be around. You're going to absorb those. You're going to be connected with those. You hang out with broke motherfuckers, people that are always having a bad time, people that never seem to get past it. That's what you're going to have. Harsh, you don't want to be a dick. Help your friends when you can. But there's some of those friends, you have them, we all have them, that you can't help. They're always having a hard time, and they're always creating another hard time, and they're always drawing everybody else into their drama. Eventually, when you come to spot those kind of people, you need to extricate those people from your lives. Don't hang out with those kind of people. So, with regard to strengthening the bond, it's like, how strong you want to be. It's like, do you want to be that person? Do you want to have that person's life? The more you bond, the more you're going to exchange those energies. I mean, maybe your life will affect their life, but their life's going to affect your life too. But the more time you spend, the more those bonds are going to develop. You just got to look ahead of time and make sure before you do that. Do you want those bonds to develop? I mean, they may be nice people. You may like those people, but are they those people that I just described? Is everything always bad for them? Is everything always drama and trauma and other almas? Those people are never going to change. You can't help them. If you try and save them from drowning, they'll drown you too. Help your friends when they're having a bad time, but recognize those ones that are never having a good time and just never going to get past it. I mean, maybe you can do a curse removal for such a person and change their life. That happens. But you need to be looking for that kind of stuff. Not every person you want to have like a close bond and exchange those kind of energies with. How are those people's lives? But failing that, the more time you spend with them, the more you're going to develop that. Let's see. All right. I was just moving my head so I can see how many people are in there. I just came off of some other page where I was doing one of these new witch pages, and we're doing at least as good over here with no notice. So I'm getting ready for my November 1st course, WitchSchool. Elver Galaga. Okay, I think I know you. Let's see. Just trying to check back, see if these are questions. Okay, answer the most recent question. Yes. But remember, it's WitchSkewl, SKEWL. Because there's these other people, the Corellians. They have the same... It's also confusing because they have the same last name as me. But I'm not, as far as I know, related to the Corellians. But they have WitchSchool. the common spelling. As such, I had to use the anarchist spelling of school, and school, S-K-E-W-L. Also, the other anarchist spelling could be K-O-O-L, but let's just not confuse it. Mine is S-K-E-W-L, or you're going to be in the wrong one, and you might think you're in the right one because they have the same name as me. What's the benefit to wearing sunglasses when spiritually attacked? When you're on the internet, when you make a profile picture, it's absolutely a good idea. If all I can get on you to do a spell on you is your profile picture from Facebook, which is usually easy to get, or other pictures in Facebook, and I can't see your eyes, well, that's a problem. You know, I want the picture where I can see your eyes to do the spell on you. That's the best personal link. You know, I could maybe still do it on your facial features and that kind of stuff, but especially mirror sunglasses, they kind of reflect those kind of things. So there is some benefit to not showing your eyes on the internet. We've got to keep in mind, we're not friends here. You know, even the people following me are not all my friends. I have plenty of enemies following me to see if I talk about them, or you know, or friends of enemies to see if I talk about the enemies. You know, we know all that shit. We're not all friends out here. You need to fucking guard shit on the internet. Have protections on any things you show. You know, watermarks, magical protective watermarks under your shit, on your pictures. There's lots of ways to go. But I saw a lot of traffic in here. I want to make sure I'm missing anything. But even when you can see my eyes, you know, I still have protections on my shit, so I'm good to go. Can you ask for project whenever you desire? I can, yes. If you do it long enough, you can too. One of the things that a lot of kids miss, the word ritual. The word ritual does not mean magical rites. It does not mean ceremony. Any of the things that we kind of like to think. If you look it up, dictionary, it means habit. It's habitual, something that's become habitual. We need our ritual to become habitual. And when our ritual becomes habitual, then we are no longer held down by props and tools and things like that. We eventually, after doing the ritual for a long enough time, make those energies habitual, making the actual ritual unimportant. We don't have to do all that shit anymore. Now, that should maybe happen 40, 50 years in, okay? It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come quickly. You shouldn't go for that, right away. But, eventually that's ultimately the point we're trying to get to, where the rituals become so habitual, we're not looking it up in a book anymore. We're not thinking about it anymore. We just, wave our arms around and chanting in Greek because we've done it 30 billion times. And when we've released it to that extent, that's when the magic happens. Let's see. Somebody said something. You can reverse flip your profile picture. Yeah, that's a good one. I think that happens automatically when I go Facebook Live. If I do a voodoo doll in a coffin. We do a voodoo doll, do the coffin nails, go on the doll or the box. Get the box. Can you take them out and do more stuff to them? I would think I'd want to do the coffin nails into the box, but the problem is they're a smaller box than coffin nails are meant. They might split the wood. Your average box, I'm going to want to seal it with black or red wax. Maybe I'm going to want to seal the coffin nails Okay. I'd take the coffin nail. I'd take 4 coffin nails pointed from the center outwards on the box, drip red and black wax on those to seal those coffin nails on top of the box. If it's a big enough box, you could actually drive those nails through it without splitting the wood. Optimally, I'm going to want to go with that, but I just, I came up with that thing, and that's a good thing. Probably not inside the box. Yeah, I want them outside the box, because the coffin nails are the things holding this stuff inside the box. Is pretty much, a coffin we're making at that point. Let me see if I got the whole question. Yeah, once I got the box, probably gonna bury the box. Maybe gonna bury the box in a graveyard, or maybe gonna bury the box somewhere with a bunch of graveyard dirt on top of it. So that would be, typically if I'm putting you in a box, you're not gonna get out of the box. I can't ever think why I'd want to let you out of the box, so I'm gonna bury your box. Graveyards can be problematic because they get dug up so often. I think of the graveyard that we frequent, it's so overcrowded. It's like every available piece of space can be dug up. And they're they work them in like Tetris, just trying to get all the bodies in there, man. So there's that. So burying stuff in other people's graveyard. Plus, if you've got a graveyard that's old and unattended, they're not, not putting new people in it. It's like, yeah, if you got that kind of graveyard, we don't have those in Hollywood. So you probably bury it somewhere else with graveyard dirt on top of it. Someplace where it's not going to be disturbed for a very long time. It's hard to find because, every piece of land is going to be developed eventually. We left, back in Santa Cruz, we had a vacation home near us with a lot of just overgrown bushes. And I gotta say, man, I left an entire graveyard of motherfuckers in that home. And it's like, it's a vacation home. Most they're ever going to do is come trim the fucking bushes. Nobody's digging anything up. They already dug it up and built the fucking home there. Probably a long time before that land's ever developed. But you bury motherfuckers to stay buried, Hence the coffin nails. Let's see, 7. All right, we're good. So we're doing Ask Uncle Birch. I'm on a teaching frenzy. I will have 4 year-and-a-day classes going November 1st. And I do this kind of thing to keep my teaching muscles strong as a community service and blah, 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 the drill. How or what do you use to put your crystal in the end of the wand to secure it? Question, Teresa. Traditionally it's melted pine sap. Don't do it. It won't hold. It becomes very brittle. I tried to add both. So what I finally came to that works best. Unfortunately, it's kind of plasticish. Hot melt glue, a glue gun. The kind of glue that comes out of hot melt glue kind of flexes, and the wand will kind of flex on. That's why the pine sap won't hold. This pine sap becomes brittle. But then I followed up with pine sap on top because it was traditional. Make it nice. Now I try and do this is important. When doing that with the hot melt glue, I recognize that plastic is an insulator and will block magic from flowing. So before I hot melt that crystal into the wand, I have wire wrapped around the crystal, making contact with the crystal. And then the crystal is going to go into the wand, and then the rest of the wire is going to spiral down the wand, leading to the other end of the wand, which typically has a lodestone in the base. And then I want the wire to make contact with that. So even though I've got some plastic stuff happening up here, which isn't optimal, but it's the best working solution that there is. I've got a circuit with the wire contacting the crystal, flowing down to the contact with the lodestone. Inconsequential, doesn't make any difference, but that hot melt glue, and you know, before I came out of hot melt glue, so one day I needed it, I had some shoe goo lying around. Shoe goo like dries like a rubber, so that's good too. You know, that works too. It's like something, it's a stick, but it's a stick. The stick will flex. If the glue holding the crystal in it does not flex, it will not hold. So your traditional pond snapping going to happen, and Elmer's glue is not going to work. Thank you. You're welcome. Teresa, you're welcome too. All right, cool. We're doing Ask Uncle Birch. I have a new course opening at gumroad.com/WitchSchool. That's WitchSkewl. It will appear to the world sometime after midnight on Samhain this year. And then people will sign up for it. And then a couple days later, the classes will actually go out, because we wait like 3 days to get everybody in there before we start sending the classes out. And then we have to, you know, we have people that miss stuff, and we have to follow up and do all this crazy crap. So the class will not actually exist until November 1st. You can go to gumroad.com/WitchSchool. That's gum like gum on your shoe. Road like the road you drive down. And WitchSchool, WitchSkewl. And see all the mini courses that I already have up there. Spiritual warfare, Wicca, or witchcraft without Wicca. My old year in a day courses, an old advanced course, tarot, oh, there's so much, and I'm always putting new stuff up there, but that's where we host the year in a day courses. If you want to sign up ahead of time and assure your spot in the class, you can contact me at witchschool@gmail.com. That's WitchSkewl@gmail.com, and I can secure an unlimited amount of slots. When November 1st comes, you're taking your chances. The class might fill up. It often does. And then I can't help you, and you got to wait around for the next class. So let's see. I think I had some questions. I had some people. Any reason why I might be seeing one particular person in my dreams? This happened twice now, and I really care about them. See, I part ways with some communities, some ideas out there based on my training. While I have sold dream interpretation books, and I may even have them on my website right now, I don't believe in them at all. There are two types of symbols that go into the dream mind. The Jungian universal symbols. There are certain symbols that Carl Jung dictated that all people subconsciously have the same response to when they see them. Circle, square, triangle. These are just a few of the most known of them. But then there's the dream symbols. The dream symbols, I believe, can never be interpreted by anybody else. You may be able to go through years of therapy or regression to uncover what those meanings are, but a house universally means security, safety, protection. But when you see a house in your dream, it's a house you've seen before and had an experience in or about. And that house doesn't mean anything that those other house symbols mean in your dream. In your dream, it's a subconscious symbol of an experience you had related to that house. And nobody else can ever interpret that, or will ever be able to help you with that. Dream interpretation journals will not work. You have to figure that out. You have to go through some self-hypnosis or meditative processes to figure out what those symbols mean. But I always recommend to my students early on to start a dream journal. The second we start class, start trying to write down your dreams. Your magical teachers are there. Wisdom school happens when you're sleeping. The real witchcraft, beyond what I'm teaching, is happening in your dreams. Your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you. If they see you try to figure it out and to communicate through your dreams for a very long time, and when they finally see you trying to figure it out, they'll help you out. Dream journals, when you first start them, sound like a bunch of gibberish, and they'll get better. My belief, and what I teach my students, is if you keep it up long enough, you may uncover an entire subconscious language. Your dreams are speaking. And if you can do that, you can speak that back to your subconscious. If you figure out that language, you can use that language to communicate to your dream mind to change your entire world. The majority of our magics are based on our subconscious responses to our magics. We do a money spell and something triggers in us to make a left one day when we were going to go right. And when we make that left, we find $100 lying on the fucking sidewalk. Shit happens like that. But it all happens in our subconscious. That's where the witchcraft resides. So start the dream journal. Start trying to figure it out. Just do it. Drink a bunch of water before you go to sleep. You'll have to wake up in the middle of the night to go pee. Before you go pee, try and write down your dreams. You know, it kind of requires fucking with yourself sometimes. Disturbing your sleep so you can remember the dreams. Because you sleep the full night and try and write them down first thing in the morning. It's just, you know, it's too vague. Rosemary in your pillow help you remember the dreams. But start trying to figure it out. And down the road, if you figured it out, it's worth a wealth of magical books or anything you could ever want to practice. If you can figure out how to send messages back to that portion of your mind, well, hell, you won't need half this shit. Let's see. I used to have clear, prophetic dreams. My dreams are all over the place. Anything I can do to help you. Okay, so hopefully that helped you. There's also an entire realm of sigil magic where you make a sigil to communicate command to your dream subconscious that you want to manifest in your life, and you make that sigil be the last thing that you look at before you go to sleep. Over, a month, several weeks, that kind of thing. Eventually you're going to burn that sigil and send it over into the void. That being the last thing that you see before you go to sleep is a whole realm of magic. There's a whole realm of sigil magic and chaos magic. That's all they do. Sleep magic. They communicate a symbol over to the subconscious mind. Let the subconscious mind have at it. Figure out how it's going to interpret it. It's way more brilliant than your conscious mind is ever going to be. And just let it go. And that's one of those things you got to love about chaos magic. They come up with some cool shit. I'm Uncle Birch. We're doing this thing called Ask Uncle Birch, where people ask me random questions about magic, witchcraft, whatever you got. I only ask that you try not to ask me a question when I'm answering a question, or I will miss it, and you'll be butthurt. Try not to be too long-winded, or I have to try and press see more. Now, don't see more. Current student here. Oh, hello, Winter. See, My students have so many different names. I'll see you over here. I'm glad you told me that. I wouldn't even known you were a student. Charisma charm to cause all to be inclined to agree and support me. Well. Clearly, I have done such magics. Some of my original reprogramming was so I could become a public speaker. I reprogrammed myself so much that I don't stop fucking public speaking. I'm sitting here at my house. I've been doing it for hours now. So clearly those magics work. Now, when I was young, I'm not going to go magic. Well, maybe magic is subconscious. Watch my video, Mind Control 101. I think there's like 3 of them. I don't Mind Control 101.2 and 0.3 or whatever it is. Here on this channel, I lay out some programming methods. There's still some software out there that we can use. The brainwave generator. There's a couple apps that I've been looking at. I think in the video I talk about the neuroprogrammer. The neuroprogrammer was almost as good as the matrix for just programming new skills and things into your mind. It was the best piece of software I've ever seen. I utilized it greatly for me, for clients, for patients, but it went defunct. And I'm still looking for a piece of software that does a neurolinguistic programming. Well, that's another thing. I mean, I am of the belief that the Druids were the originators of neurolinguistic programming. The bards believed that the way that they told a story, or the story that they told, would make a king fall in battle the next day or make the king victorious. And they were subliminally programming the rulers as entertainers, for lack of a better word. That's what the bards were doing. They were just entertaining. They were actually ruling from behind the scenes based on the words. In neurolinguistic programming, certain words are programming symbols in your mind. And magic absolutely utilizes that to this day. But I think the Druids probably originated that, if not perfected that. In neurolinguistic programming, I mean, that's a way to program others. Neurolinguistic programming videos, on this channel, I think smile when you say that is one, and watch your fucking mouth. That's another one where I talk to people about, watch what you let yourself fucking think. The ideas you allow yourself to entertain and launch into the universe, and especially watch your fucking mouth. Watch what you say. When you find yourself saying things like, oh, my life sucks, it's never going to be better, everything's terrible, you need to learn to cancel that shit. Cancel. Don't let those become permanent seeds in your subconscious. Don't go to sleep without having canceled that idea, because it's going to affect your whole damn life. I have, several videos. I'm still looking for a better software than the neuroprogrammer to reprogram the mind, but back when I was doing it, we were using cassette tapes. So to subliminally reprogram myself took 2 months before seeing any effect whatsoever. With the with the neuroprogrammer, we were able to layer audio to expose the subconscious to a suggestion or suggestion, 30 times in a second, as opposed to 1 time a second, which is back when I was a kid. The more you expose the subconscious to the suggestion, the more powerful the suggestion. So, with the neuroprogrammer, you wouldn't even hear the suggestions. It sounded like bugs buzzing in your ears, but your subconscious got it all. And you could reprogram your entire subconscious. You could reprogram yourself to be charismatic, to be a good public speaker or something like that in less than a month. It was great stuff. There are some apps for subliminal programming that I've looked at on the Apple Store that look like they're good. I haven't wanted to pay for them yet to see if they're good. I like to have a trial version to check out first before I go pay money to somebody. But if you know of one, let me know, because I still have that video out there where I'm recommending the neural programmer and it's gone defunct. I can't even use my old version of software. It is the most brilliant software to reprogram your mind that anybody ever invented. You're welcome. So we're doing this Ask Uncle Birch thing. Let's see if I missed anything. Bolshevik. Is it true that the more people that see your sigils, the better? Usually not. Most sigil magic, nobody should see them. They're a message to your subconscious mind. But there's another method to sigils, and I'll direct you to my channel here. You're already here. Shouldn't be hard to find. Search this channel to hide a sigil in plain sight. And that's all of you. Go look at that later. That sigil, the money magnet sigil, was created in public, in a very public way. Was launched to the internet through multiple sources as we all shouted "So mote it be" and pressed send on our phones at the time. It has been tagged. It has been posted all over the internet. Before we moved to Southern California, I got emails from people that were posting that sigil on the entrance to the 405 freeway. The most aggro fucking freeway you could ever get on in this area. I never get on the 405 freeway for any fucking thing ever, 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 ever. People won't date if they have to travel the 405 freeway to see the object of their fucking desire. It's the worst. So the people entering the 405 freeway at certain on-ramps were exposed to that sigil on the on-ramp fucking sign. That energy, that angst of anybody that just has to travel the 405 even though they don't want to. They know it's going to be the worst part of their fucking day. They know they're not going to be home for like 5 fucking hours. They're getting onto that freeway. Even that angst that they're sending that sigil adds to its power. That sigil was created where it didn't matter what you were thinking at the sigil. Just look at the sigil. It derives power. It's got thousands of viewers, thousands of retransmissions, thousands of reduels. It's all over there. So in that context, to hide a sigil in plain sight, when you go see the video, you will see the genius behind it. Marta over here, my emotional clown support to the right of me. Support clown to the right of me. She made the little happy face on the bottom of the sigil. Everybody in our group added something to the sigil. We were at a very crowded pub, and we were loud and boisterous, and we all made a big scene and shouted "So mote it be" and held our phones up to the sky and transmitted, and everybody in the pub looked at it. What are those freaks doing? Adding to the sigil from the moment of its creation. But Marta had the smart idea to have a little happy face on it to make it be the kind of money that made you happy. To free it from all of the trappings of all of the monies that can make you unhappy, which is the majority of the backlashes from the majority of money spells out there. Very simple, but really one of the reasons we keep her around. I'm Ask Uncle Birch, or I'm Uncle Birch. We're doing Ask Uncle Birch. It depends on the input of the power to. Well, partially, but that particular sigil was created with the portions of my transformation ideas incorporated into it, to where, you know, it didn't matter. You could be negative, you could be positive, you could have hate, you could have love, you could have no idea whatsoever and just be like spacing out, staring at that sigil at a bus stop, and that sigil is getting power. We're changing the idea behind that sigil. So it's, God, it might be a decade old now, so it's on this channel. It just keeps getting stronger. I still use it to this day whenever I need it. A very powerful sigil. So we're doing Ask Uncle Birch. I'm getting ready for the November 1st Q&A course to start, which will be available at gumroad.com/WitchSchool. WitchSkewl. Later, probably like Samhain, a little after midnight. You know, Samhain at midnight, you might imagine, is a busy time. So somewhere after that, I'm going to launch the class, and then you'll see it exist. If you want to secure a spot in the class, you can contact me ahead of time at witchschool@gmail.com. It's WitchSkewl@gmail.com. Somebody's gonna off topic. How's my dog? He's great. He's plopped over here. He's always got to be about our feet somewhere. Oh, he saw a fly. Now he's trying to eat a fly. No, now he's going back to sleep. All right, he's chilling. It's tough for a dog with a lot of husky in him. This heat, you know, really sucks for them. You can't shave them. Their fur never grows back. They look like a molting parakeet. Gotten cool with me, like pouring water on him now and then. Which he hates, but he realizes that he's cooler. So now he's like, right now he's airing his junk.
Show them.
If you got junk, you know, you gotta air the junk out sometimes. As he.
No, keep going more of that. Hi, always coming. Say hi, Azzy.
All right, that was probably a great shot. He's rather photogenic. Now I got to make sure my battery's still charging. Okay, red light's still there. Yeah. Spreading his legs. He's cool. Hey, that's that, man. Let's air his junk out, man. I mean, I don't have that much hair on my junk, but I gotta air it out sometimes, man. It helps to not wear underwear, but that's TMI. All right, we're doing Ask Uncle Birch. There's an entire blog, and maybe to encourage my wife to actually catch up with her blog. Our dog here, in Hollywood, they call him an influencer. He's been recognized at certain events in town because he has his own blog. It's called lairofthedog.com. Lair, L-A-I-R, of the dog.com. Because Marta's a hell of a writer, and we, you know, you'll read it. You know, we have to take our dog everywhere. He's just that kind of dog. So we've gotten really abreast of the dog-friendly pubs and restaurants and stuff around Hollywood. And so Marta turned, you know, since we have to take the dog everywhere, which complicates our lives, Marta turned lemons into lemonade and started a blog, writing a blog about the dog-friendly places around town and stuff where we take our dog. And so you see our dog out with us. Marta does food reviews and reviews the cocktails and that kind of stuff. And, you know, I sit around and have IPAs and eat shit. Get my food taken pictures of. But lairofthedog.com, he's actually become recognized in town.
Because no dog looks like him.
No dog looks like him. People wanted to take selfies with him. I want to start, soon I'm going to carry around the little ink pad so he can give autographs down on Hollywood Boulevard. But yeah, he's a unique kind of guy. He, you know, good enough to be a Corral, I like to say. That's great. I had no idea. Oh, you never saw that? Emerald City Mystic? Yeah, check it out. She's like a couple weeks behind, but lairofthedog.com. Okay, a couple months. I was trying to give her a break there, but a couple months behind. LairTheDog.com. She's got a decent amount of followers with it, and I gotta say, it's like I've been to all of the places that she's covered in these places, and she's a writer. The experience was way better after I read it in her blog than the actual experience. I mean, we always had fun, but it was always funner when I read her take on, you know, each place that we went. And she's, you know, she's covered a lot of places, and people come to know them. We took, there's like a very organized neighborhood community here in the Hollywood Hills, and we took Azzy there, and people knew him. There was a dog parade there, and he ended up winning Best in Show. And when they announced him, they called him an influencer and talked about his blog. He's known in the neighborhood. And a few days after that, you know, the episode in Marta's blog was called Best in Show. So I'm walking down the street with my fucking dog, and somebody screams out the window, "Whoa, Best in Show! Hey!" Yeah. We got down to Hollywood Boulevard, people recognized him. So thanks for asking about the dog. Let's see. You're a legal technical writer at Microsoft. Love checking that too. Yeah, Marta's a career newswoman, editor for the paper in the town that I met her. But they went through, you know, they sold her newspaper several times, laid people off. But with Marta around, it's like I cannot get over how necessary editors still are in all media out there, because Marta cannot miss a mistake. Grammatical, spelling, fucking content, consistency, fucking name it. She can't get past that. So it doesn't matter what we're watching, what we're reading. Marta's gonna catch the fucking errors and show me about it. And it's like, I understand, you know, downsizing and shit. It's like, you like downsize the people that actually make your content worth being content. I just don't know. So the bottom fell out of print media, so Marta's still an editor and a writer, and she's gotta write. She gotta edit. I think it was originally so you could have current writing samples. And I said, well, you know, in this day and age, a published writing sample means that you published it. Maybe a blog. So she started this blog, and the blog just kind of, you know, the blog was originally to procure writing samples to send to employers to, you know, get a job. But then now it just kind of became about the blog. Now Marta's an influencer. It's a different kind of world. Maybe, you know, maybe don't have a 9-to-5 job. I mean, I'm sure we all would do it if we could, right? Yeah, they lay off people to show profit. They actually sent English content to employees in China, then realized the mistake. You know about that?
Well, I know that they do that kind of stuff in India.
I mean, when I get a scam from another country, that's usually how I can tell. They don't know how to use the grammar. They don't know how people talk. They're like, blessings upon you and your fine family.
Yeah,
nobody talks like that.
They don't understand like slang or anything.
Slang or anything. I mean, Marta over here reads the AP Stylebook for fun. I had something down. Yeah. At any rate, that's Marta. Let's see. To cast a spell is to spell. Yes, Sonny. I always say, precise speech leads to precise thought. Having Marta around really helps me with that. Now my precise speech has the proper spelling and grammar attached to it. But yeah, really work on how you say things. I mean, how you format a sentence is a statement of intent, and that, well, your statement of intent can make you or break you. And here on my channel, you want to learn more about that? Go watch my video on the statement of intent. I will use a piece of history you've never heard of to send a message home. So write this down. All these videos you're going to watch after we're done here, you want to watch Uncle Birch's video about the statement of intent. It's important. 7% battery. Well, we're going to get going pretty soon here because I'm going to have to give Marta my charger. Yeah. Well, it's been kind of low, so I'm not sure how low. Probably better than 7%. I can probably give you the charger, but now I got to prop it on something.
You can prop it on the screen on that. Yes.
That's weird. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got? We're still at 7. Holding is 17. Oh yeah, pot, meat kettle.
Yeah.
So make sure you got a lightning bolt. It's kind of been tripping.
Duh.
Duh.
Don't ask the editor if there's a lightning bolt.
Well, I've had to ask previously.
No, you haven't.
There's a hat.
No, you haven't. Cognitive dissonance. Look it up.
Oh God, where is it? Last one. Okay. Let's talk. You want to talk about anything, a crazy tingle in your head when using something? I get this with my scrying ball. Does that mean it's drawing me in? A scrying ball is a method for traveling to other worlds in spiritual contact. It's not divination. Divination, tarot cards, pendulums, bones, what you got. A scrying ball or a scrying mirror, you're traveling into other worlds to get information, or you're bringing spirits over here. So, yes, yes, that tingly, yes, that's spiritual tingly, I would think, in there, but it's not bad. There's a bad feeling that goes along with when you're like getting spiritual contact or spiritual influence from, I don't want to say negative forces of negativity. That would be a more proper way to say that. So yeah, not necessarily a bad feeling, but it's kind of the feeling that stuff's happening. That tingling is the stuff that the magic's happening. It's good. Good stuff. Let's see, where are we? 59 minutes. All right. We're going to do 3 more. I've been doing Ask Uncle Birch for like hours now, here, there, and everywhere. Got other stuff I got to do. So we'll see if we got like 3 more questions, and then we'll get out of here. We've been... this might be the last one before the next year and a day course starts. The last Uncle Birch, or Ask Uncle Birch. I don't know. I gotta get that class ready soon. I'm not, still putting out classes for this month. Oh, busy. Let's see. All right. I'll see if I see anything. Actually, on probably sometime after midnight, I'll probably go live for a couple minutes on this channel to launch the course, because it's somehow easier to go live than to record a video and upload it here. It takes longer for it to post. than if I just go live. So if I just go live and announce the class, it'll probably be easier. So I don't know. Probably won't do an Ask Uncle Birch that night, but I'll probably be live for a few on Samhain, launching the November 1st class. All right, so we've been doing Ask Uncle Birch, random questions about witchcraft. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, see if we see a couple more. If not, then I've done my job and you've gotten enough for your 2 cents, and we'll go do other things. You just want to sit here and watch me smoke. I see how it is. Fucking bunch of voyeurs.
I like sitting here and watching you smoke.
Yeah. Well, you could go on YouTube and watch me from a different angle too.
I can always watch you from a different angle.
Oh, I don't know if you heard that. My channels, fuck it up. I think the smoking with Uncle Birch has just kind of become Ask Uncle Birch. But we do like to thank the people. Oops. We do want to thank the folk at Freedom Lampworks on Etsy for our new pipe. It's one of my students who's also a glass blower. After watching Smokable with Uncle Birch and other things, decided, hey, you guys need a new pipe. You're always having to clear your pipe, poke it and stuff, so send us a new pipe. So check out Freedom Lampworks on Etsy. They make some really cool shit. What are my thoughts on gematria? I have no thoughts. I don't know what that is. I'll hopefully remember that when I get off the air and Google that. I have no clue what gematria is. Thank you for all the info on this on YouTube and Facebook. You're welcome, Teresa. Doing my community service work because my communities are confused. There's a lot of people just teaching a lot of crap out here. I got my low battery warning at 20%, so we're going to get out of here unless I got another question. Let's see. Yeah. Share my plans for Samhain. Well, we will probably go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, we have to go trick-or-treating.
And then we will come home and put out some offerings for the ancestors. Me and Marta will probably spend some time up here. Usually I like to just remember them and talk about them.
Burn things, wave our arms around.
Yeah, burn things, wave our arms around, that kind of thing. Remember the ancestors, make offerings to the ancestors. I'm not doing a whole lot of magic on Samhain. It's about my ancestors. And Marta will probably talk me into several readings, and then we'll launch the class around midnight. And then we'll launch our birds. All right. I think that's good. I feel good. Do you feel good? I feel pretty. Do you feel pretty? All right. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you before November 1st, but that shit's coming up right around the corner. So, merry meet, merry part, merry meet again, y'all.